Hello investors everywhere, Adam Hewison here with your market report for Friday the 20th of September. Well, there's no doubt about it. Today is a big day for Apple as they unleash their new iPhones on the world, and there's been long lines reported not just here in the States but also in Asia and in Europe, which is a good sign for Apple. I think a lot of people, myself included, did not upgrade in the last iPhone came out. This one I am upgrading to, so I like the idea of the technology in the fingerprints and also some of the video capabilities and camera capabilities that it didn't have before. So I'm very excited about this new iPhone, and I'm going to be upgrading my... We're looking at a chart of Apple. This is a weekly chart, and as you can see, we've had a pretty nice run up from the lows. You can see the pressure that was on this market before was quite immense. If you go back here, you see we hit a low and then we sort of steadily went up, and then we had a big down week last week, and of course this week we sort of popped back up. What's interesting to me, we came to the midpoint of the trading channel. This is a Donchian trading channel that we have on, and it's not unusual for a market to come to the midpoint and then start going up again. I think what's going to happen in this case, in Apple's case, we're probably going to go sideways for maybe 2-3 weeks and then resume an upward trend. We are still looking for a target zone. That's a target zone of $550 on Apple. So let's see what happens. Also, the MACD is still positive on the weekly, and let's see how things work out for Apple. So let's just, and this is Tesla. Tesla is going to be closing at new high ground for the move. And a lot of people are saying this is a cult stock. Certainly Elon Musk is delivering. This is the big thing. He is delivering what he said he's going to deliver, which is a very unusual thing for a lot of CEOs of companies to do. But they built the charging stations way ahead of what everyone thought, and it's still a good thing. We're looking for this market to go to the 190 to 200 level, which is going to be a psychological area, of course, but nonetheless, the trend is your friend, and everything, including our trade triangles right here, are very positive. You can see we've been long Tesla from $32.78. It's $182 now. It's $150 ago. We had our first signal to get long Tesla. Our last weekly signal was $39. So we've been long and loving it. So let's see how things work out with this stock, but we still see this market going higher. All systems go for Tesla. Moving on to our next market. These are weekly charts, by the way. This is Pandora Media. Hit a new high today, and we still like the way this market looks. We're looking for that market to go to the 30-32 level. We're also looking at a stock called Facebook. You may have heard of that. That's made new highs today, of course, on the weekend. We like that, and it's plus 100. Everything system goes for this. We're looking for this to hit 50 in the not too distant future. So moving on to the Dow, you can see we sort of stalled out a little bit. We had a couple of sort of days when the market's been down a little bit, but for the week we're higher. It's the third week in a row we've actually closed higher, and I think that's a good sign. Now we definitely need to get over this high here, which was 15,658, and I think once we get over that level and close over that level, we may have another leg up to maybe the 16,000 level. I think a lot of people are talking about that level today. So moving on to the S&P 500, this is definitely going to be a new high close for the move if we close here for the weekend. Now again, these are weekend closes, so it's going to be very cool. I'd like to see it obviously close higher, closer to the highs than where we are right now, but that's going to be, we'll have to see what happens. The high was at 1729, was 1719, 10 points away. So if we could close in the 20s, 25, somewhere like that, I think it'd be a very good close for the week, but nonetheless it is positive. Moving along to the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ, again, new highs, looking really good, helped by Apple, which has really had a $40 recovery from the recent break earlier in the week. So it's really done very, very well. So NASDAQ looks like it's on track to go higher. And of course, you've got some very good stocks in NASDAQ right now, Tesla being one of them, and also several other major sort of cultish type stocks. Going on to gold. Gold is basically still in a sideways pattern, 75. Both the long and medium term trends are down. We're still thinking this market's trying to build a base to go higher in 2014. I think that's the key to gold. Nothing to get excited about right now in gold. Moving on to crude oil. This is October crude oil. Crude oil is closing lower for the week, and it's still above the parabolic. It has all of our trade triangles green. However, they're beginning to get a little softer, and also you're seeing some momentum lose in the MACD. You can see that right here. You can see the MACD just beginning to, let me get my pen here, just beginning to fade down and getting very close to making a cross here. So let's watch that very carefully next week. So We are very close to the area, the parabolic, and there could be a lot happening next week in crude oil. So let's play close attention to that market. And moving on to our next market, that's going to be the Eurodollar. The Eurodollar had a big move this week. It's closing in new high ground for the week, and that's an important element to do. It's certainly cleared over the last area that we saw as resistance, which was right here, and closing where we are above the Dungeon trading channel means we may see some further consolidation, but generally speaking, it looks as though you've got this market heading higher. I think we were looking for the 140 level on the euro, so that's 1.4000. Let's see how that plays out, but generally speaking, that is the way the trend is going. With the plus 100 on our triangles, we see this market moving higher. So I think that's it for today. It's been a really interesting week, a good week for us. We made some nice moves in the market. We've had a lot of our things. You see a lot of green triangles here. That's something you always have to look for with our technology. We're just waiting for the Apple weekly trade triangle to turn green, and it's full steam ahead. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll be back, and we'll be talking to you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
You can find Adam Hewison as a regular contributor on Bloomberg, Business News Network, CNBC, and Fox Business News.